Hi, in today's session we are going to discuss about articles of association, which is also called as internal rule book. Now, what do you mean by that internal rule book? Internal rule book means it is the document which contains the rules and regulations for the internal management of the company. Hence, it is also called as internal rule book, which sets certain guidelines, rules and regulations of every employee of the company or the management of the company, which they have to follow in the process of accomplishing the objectives of the company. So in the process of achieving the objectives of the company, either the top management, middle management, lower management, or employees of the company, they have to follow the guidelines or internal rules book process for in this process. So in this process, how they have to handle the various financial records, who is authorized to sign on that, and who has power to endorse it or forward or accept, and who can conduct the meeting, uh, and the directors roles, responsibilities, powers, liabilities, everything will be mentioned in this rule book or called as articles of association. And these articles of association is the secondary document continuation of memorandum of association, which will help in how they are achieving the objectives of memorandum of association will be explained in these articles of association in the process of making earning the profits for the company and fulfilling the shareholders satisfied in the process of earning profits. And also, if any articles of association the rules has to be changed, that must be done with two-third majority. Now we are going to discuss about the contents of articles of association. As we said, it contains the various rules and regulations for the internal management of the company. In the process of internal management of the company, a company has to deal with various issues or various contents. Now, which are going to be discussed or contains the rules in these articles of association. Regarding the first point, beginning with the general meetings, as we know, a company, especially public limited company, who has collected share capital from the way of lakhs of thousands of shareholders, they have to call for annual general meeting every year in order to inform about the progress of the company and the future prospects of the company. So who has authorization to conduct the meeting, how the meeting should be conducted, what are the rules to be followed, what how the who should introduce the motion and resolution, and all that details will be mentioned in the regarding the general meeting. Then coming to the directors, what are the who is called as a directors, what are the duties of a directors, what are the powers of the directors, what are the liabilities of the directors. All these rules will be mentioned here in the articles of association. Then about accounting and auditing. So what kind of accounting system are they following? Whether they are following single entry system, double entry system, or are they going for auditing of the company? If so, who is the auditor of the company? What is his experience? Auditor's address? All these, whether a company is following any internal auditing, all that must be mentioned. If so, what are the rules to be followed? All these things will be also mentioned in the articles of association. Coming to the lien of shares, can they hold the shares because of non-payment of shares? That also going to, if so, what is the procedure to be followed, whether they have to issue any notices, if so, how many days notices, all that will also to be mentioned in the rule book, or it's also called as articles of association. Then coming to the transfer of shares, can one person can transfer their share to other person, or in other words, in the process of buying or selling, or in the as in process of gift, can they transfer? If so, what are the rules? Who is eligible for that? What is the procedure to transfer of the shares? All those rules will be also mentioned in these articles of association. Then coming to the forfeiture of shares or cancellation of shares. If any shareholder failed to pay the full value of the share value, then company can forfeit the shares or cancel the shares, but they have to follow certain procedure or legal procedure accepted by the courts. That is, say 14-day due notice, or 3 months due notice, or minimum 3 notices, or whether that notice should be sent through registered post or through paper advertisement. All that rules and regulations should be mentioned in this forfeiture of shares. And regarding the conversion of shares into stocks, the shares can be converted into stock when it has been fully paid. That is, according to this Companies Act 2013, the fully paid shares which has been issued initially as number of shares can be converted into fully paid shares, which is in the form of stock. For example, in the beginning only, if a shareholder paid full value, it cannot convert into stock, but only at the later stage only the shares can be converted into stocks. Then regarding the issuing share warrant, share warrants will mention about the holding of that person and entitled for the number of shares in future date, signed and sealed by the directors or of the company, is called as share warrant. If they can issue, what is the rules have to be adopted in this process, that also they have to be mentioned. Now another important and interesting question: can they alter the share capital or change the share capital? Can they increase or decrease the share capital? Yes, certainly any company can do increase or decrease of the share capital depending upon the future prospects of the company. If they get a good projects and they need further capital, they can increase the share capital. If they want to increase the share capital, what is the procedure to be followed? That is whether two-third majority is required, or 51% of majority is required, whether it should call for a annual general meeting, and in that general meeting whether normal resolution is required, special resolution is required. All that rules will be mentioned very clearly. Then coming to the voting rights, what are the voting rights available, how much to the preference shareholders and equity shareholders, whether voting rights are allotted on the number of shares held or on the percentage of shares they hold, whether rights is given either to the particular person irrespective of their number of shares held or contribution of share, that also they have to be mentioned in the articles of association. Then coming to the dividends and reserves, as we know, company which is collecting capital from the public in the form of shares, and the shareholders who invested in this company expecting or by going through their prospectus and MOE fee, after satisfying themselves that this company has good prospects and able to get good profits, then those profits should be shared by this company at the year end in the form of dividends. If so, how much dividends should be shared out of the total profits? In other words, if the company got 1000 crores of profit, out of that whether the company should be given to shareholders total 1000 crores or only 500 crores, and if the remaining amount, if they want to keep it as a reserve, if so what kind of reserve, how much percentage of reserve, and whether for doing all this they have to hold any directors meeting, and subject to the approval of shareholders assent in the general meeting. All that also they have to be mentioned in this AOA rule book.